Ishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namin. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschati Veshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Okay, so we quickly hear about the 7th chapter, importance of the process of hearing about Krishna. Right? Why do you think it's very important to hear about Krishna? Why is hearing so much importance? Yes. Why should we hear about Krishna? For what? For what are we hearing about Krishna?
To develop prema.
Good, to develop love for Krishna, yes, so that we hear more. See, who's the person who just heard about Krishna and developed love? You can put in the chat or unmute and say. You're right, Prabhu, but who is the one who never saw Krishna, but just heard about Krishna and fell in love with Krishna?
Rukmini. Rukmini Mataji.
Rukmini. Good, yes. So Rukmini just heard about Krishna from the Brahmanas and all, never saw Krishna in her life, but then she decided, I'm going to have this person as my husband. And then, but her marriage was fixed with Rukmi. Rukmi fixed her marriage with Shishupal, right? And she didn't like it. So she wrote a love letter to Krishna. First love letter in the Bhagavatam. Secret letter that Krishna, please come and take me away from this place. I don't want to be here. So just by hearing. And who is the one just by hearing got delivered? Just by hearing, he got delivered. Got moksha. Okay, I'll give another clue. He heard for 7 days.
Parikshit Maharaj?
Yes, Parikshit Maharaj, right? So Parikshit Maharaj heard from Shukadeva Goswami just for 7 days and got delivered. There's another person also like called Dundukari. I'll tell that story later. There was Dundukari and Gokarna stories. In that Dundukari also in 7 days got delivered just by hearing about Krishna. So very important to hear. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Out of the 9 process of Bhakti, Shravanam is very important. Just we have 2 ears, 1 tongue. We have to hear more. And from whom? From the right source we should hear. Avaishnava Mukavirnam Putam Harikatamritam Shravanam Naiva Kartavyam Sarpotishta Yadapaya. You should not hear from an Avaishnava, somebody who's not a devotee. Why? If a milk is touched by a poisonous snake, the whole milk will turn to poison. So similarly, the Harikatha, even though it's very precious and pure, but if it is said by a Mayavadi or a non-devotee, then that won't have any effect on you. So there are 3 types of hearing. Does anyone know? 3 types of hearing. How do you hear? 3 ways of hearing. Okay, so one is you hear through one ear and put it through another ear. This is just it's superficial hearing. Just you're there, but your mind is not there. Your body is there. It's just one ear. So that's very superficial type of hearing. And another type is you hear and you just speak. It comes out through your mouth. No realization, no going into the brain, nothing. Just go and speak. And the third is the perfect of hearing is hearing and put it into your heart. In the sense, completely trying to realize it and apply it in life. Okay, yeah, that's a story, 3 skull story. So what happens? One king got 3 skulls in his kingdom, and one person he asked the ministers, like, do you know which one is the most intelligent skull? So how do you know this? The skull, no? So the minister took a stick and he put through one ear, and for the first person, the other ear. So still, this is a fool. He's not intelligent because whatever he hears, he goes. And then the second skull, he put it through one ear and went him to the mouth. It's just whatever he hears, he's just blabbering it out, not realized. And the third skull, the most intelligent, he put it through the ear and came through the downside. That's heart side. So very important to hear. Krishna also says to Arjuna to hear. In the first chapter, Krishna was hearing, and the next 17th chapter, Arjuna was hearing. So process of hearing is very, very important, especially from bona fide spiritual master who comes in a disciplic succession. So knowledge of the absolute. So we start with Bhakti Yoga in this chapter, the 7th chapter. And 7th chapter, 1 sloka is about hearing about Krishna. So Krishna requests Arjuna to hear about his both spiritual and material energies. The more and more you hear about Krishna, the more and more you fall in love with Krishna, and you start appreciating how great Krishna is, and you fall from devotional service. Krishna declares transcendents who succeed in truly knowing him is the most. And we know how Prahlad became a deity just by hearing from the mouth of his mother. When Matajis are pregnant, they're supposed to hear all the Shastras and all. Why? The baby in the womb, the consciousness develop, and he can hear, he or she can hear. So hearing is very important. Shrinvata Sokata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayandasta Bhadrani Vidinodi Sudhrisada. When you hear about Krishna, what happens? All anarthas will go away from you. And the more you hear, then only Krishna Prema will come. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabonai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karayodai. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema, like the permanent Krishna Prema is not possible just like that. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta. You have to hear and purify your heart. Then only you can get Krishna Prema. So to understand Krishna and his energy is only by true proper hearing, right? So we should start hearing. So hearing is the acquiring knowledge, okay, through the descending process. Shri Bhagavanu Vaja Mai Asakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjanmadashrayaha Asamshayam Samagramam Yata Nyasyasi Tatshrunu. Tatshrunu. Shrunu means hear. The Supreme Personality Godhead said, now hear, O son of Krita, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Okay. So he's asking, hear from him. Shrinu. Know Krishna in full. So we have to hear from Krishna. Prabhupada's like, you hear about Krishna from Krishna. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna and Bhagavad is spoken about Krishna. So both are to be heard. That's why it's called Shruti Praman. Shruti. Shruti means to hear. So practicing yoga, he's like Bhakti yoga should be practiced. How? Maya Sakta Manapartha. Your mind should be attached to Krishna in full consciousness of Krishna. So full and scientific knowledge is Krishna and not impersonal Brahman or Paramatma. In full means to know him in the absolute truth. Janmadhyasa Yada. So we should know Krishna as the absolute truth, the living entity, material nature, the manifestations and paraphernalia. Without doubt, refers to firm faith that Krishna is the ultimate knowledge and realization. To always think of Krishna in devotion, one must hear about Krishna. Krishna consciousness process reveals full knowledge because mind is fully attached to Krishna. The ninefold process of Bhakti, beginning with Shravanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dhasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam, Idi Pumsarpida, Vishnu, Bhakti, Shannava Lakshanam, Priyade Bhagavati, Ada Tanmanni, Adidamuttamam. Okay, who said this to whom? Who said these 9 folds of devotional service is there? So who told this? That there are 9 processes?
Narad Muni?
No. I'll give a clue. It's 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Very nice. Prahlad to whom?
To father.
Yeah, his father Hiranyakashipu. When his father called Hiranyakashipu, called Prahlad, son, come and sit in my lab. What did you study from your Gurukul school? So that time Prahlad Maharaj says these 9 things is the one I studied. And the father was like, what? Because he sees Vishnu as his enemy and his son is doing bhakti to his Vishnu. So this sloka comes in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Prahlad Maharaj telling this to his father Hiranyakashipu. Now whom to hear from? Only from Krishna and his pure devotees, not from non-devotee scholar. Okay, so we have to hear from Krishna. The steps for advancement as given in Srimad Bhagavatam is that hearing about Krishna or from Krishna, by such hearing in the heart acts as a best well-wisher friend. You can see, if you have your book, text Bhagavad Gita, you can see Prabhupada have quoted Srimad Bhagavatam, all the slokas, 5 slokas he have quoted just to understand, make us understand the glories of hearing. Krishna purifies the devotee who's constantly engaged in hearing. Natural development of dormant knowledge comes by more hearing. One becomes fixed in devotional service and freedom from the modes of passion and ignorance. Material lust, everything get diminished. and one becomes steady in pure goodness. One become enlivened by devotional service and understand the science of God perfectly. Hard knot of material affection is severed, and one comes to the stage of asamshayam samagram, complete understanding of the absolute truth by hearing, just by hearing. Our Prabhupada, Abhay Charan was given first and second initiation on the same day by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He became Abhay Charana Ravinda, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada later on. So the same day. So everyone is like, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, why are you giving first and second initiation together to Abhay Babu? Because normally after first initiation, after 1 year or something, only they get the Brahmanic. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, he likes to hear from me. He likes to hear. Prabhupada, whenever he got a chance to meet his guru, he used to go and sit in front to hear about Krishna from his guru. So that's a nice quality. And that's the best quality which Prabhupada had. And Prabhupada said, my spiritual master initiated me just because I have that quality. So we have to hear from Krishna. About Krishna from the devotees also. From Krishna, about Krishna. Okay. And from the right source. If you take a degree from a fake college, that degree is not valid. No, you can't practice, you can't get a job with that fake certificate. You should go to a recognized university, right? Under the government or private, it should be recognized university, and then only the degree has some value. So similarly, you should hear about the Lord from the right source. Right. So for material knowledge, we need guru. Why not we need guru for spiritual knowledge? So we should have. So hearing about Krishna is very, very important. Okay. Krishna says that you have to hear from me and in the right way. Okay, to understand Krishna as truth and not as Brahman and Paramatma. Okay. I can fill that sheet. So in the 7th chapter, the first 3 slokas, Krishna says, you have to hear from him. So Arjuna, please hear. How? By taking shelter of Krishna, by practicing Bhakti Yoga, your mind attached to Krishna, you can be free from doubt. So knowledge is important. Complete knowledge is that to understand between matter and spirit. Right? Actually, it is not possible to know Krishna in full. But here Krishna is going to give the knowledge of the essential principles of the facts about himself, the Supreme God, and his energy. But the details are unlimited. Okay. The second sloka is about Jnana and Vijnana about Krishna. Okay, there's some difference. Jnana means knowledge, Vijnana means realizations. Okay, so that's that. Okay, Jnana and Vijnana. Jnanam te aham sa vijnanam idam vakshyami asheshataha yajnatva neha bhuyo jnatavyam avashishyate. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. So he's like, if you know this knowledge, there's nothing else remaining. Okay. So this is called Jnana and Vijnana. The definition of complete knowledge means to know matter and spirit. And eligibility of Arjuna to receive knowledge is because he's a devotee and a friend. Bhaktosi sakha cheti. What is the qualification Arjuna had according to the first chapter to hear Bhagavad Gita? First chapter of Bhagavad Gita says Arjuna had some qualification. What was that? Does anyone remember? First chapter.
Mataji was kind, gentle, and he was a devotee of Lord, not envious of the Lord.
What? Kind and?
Kind. He was kind, Mataji. He was soft-hearted, and he was a devotee of the Lord who was not envious of the Lord.
Nice. So he was kind and soft-hearted. That's the first sloka. First chapter, last sloka says that Arjuna was kind and soft-hearted. So Krishna gave the knowledge. And he was a devotee and friend. There's one more good quality. What was that? One more great quality which made Arjuna eligible to hear Bhagavad Gita. What was that? Anyone knows?
Totally surrenders.
Not surrender.
Non-envious, Mataji.
Very good. Non-envious. Okay. So he was non-envious, right? So that is again another important qualification which Arjuna had. So Arjuna was kind, soft-hearted, a friend, a devotee of Krishna, and non-envious. Nirvairam, nirmam. It was like Nirma prochita kaida vatra paramo, nirmatsaranam satha. Nirmatsara. Matsara means envy and nirmatsara means non-envious. So that's another great qualification which Arjuna had, which made him qualified to hear the knowledge. The qualification is, Prabhupada writes, the complete knowledge can be achieved only by a devotee of the Lord in disciplic succession. And the cause of cause become known and everything becomes known. Nothing remains unknown. That's what sloka says. Krishna is like, I explain to you this knowledge, both material and spiritual energies, my personality and sweetness, everything. And after knowing this, I have nothing more to know because that's the highest of all the knowledge. So Krishna's greatness and sweetness have been mentioned. Jnana refers to theoretical knowledge. Vijnana is the realized knowledge. Okay. So realizing Krishna's sweetness is greater than knowing his energy. And the third sloka says about the rarity of realized knowledge. It's very important sloka. Manishyanam sahasreshu kashit yadadi siddhaye yadadam abhisiddhanam kashit mam vedi tattvataha. Okay, so not everyone will be able to know Krishna. Out of thousands of men, one may endeavor for perfection, and out of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows Krishna in truth. Why this is happening? So many comes to know about Krishna, many thousands, but only one will know of Krishna in perfection. Why? What happens to others? What happens to others? Like for our course in Bhagavad Gita 18 days course, the level 1, so many registers for level 1. Then in level 2, it decreases. Level 3, level 4. Or some of you have directly come to Bhakti Shastri, then it will be very less. Why? Why they are not able to stay? There are so many reasons, but what's the main reason why? Like for a marathon, many registers.
Agnata Sukriti.
Yes, Prabhu.
Agnata Sukriti.
Ajnata Sukriti, very nice. Yes. You need lot of Ajnata Sukritis to come. You need a lot of Ajnata Sukriti to come to Krishna consciousness. Yes. What is the other main important reason? Yes, what is the other main reason?
Krishna's permission himself.
Yes,
They're still
Prabhu.
envious.
Krishna's mercy, Mataji.
Mercy, okay, permission, mercy. What is that which connects them to Krishna? What is that?
Envious.
What is that missing link between? Huh? Yes,
We are
Prabhu?
envious, Mataji. We are envious.
Envious, okay, and another, that is one of the qualities, envious.
Not pure, Mataji. Not pure.
Devotion,
Not
Mataji.
pure. Devotion, okay, almost close.
Parampara.
Guru, Haribol, yes, that's Guru. Okay, so what happened? They're not getting connected to the right Guru. What happens is they get a bogus Guru. That's the main thing, that they would drop away from spiritual life. Many will be wanted to know about spiritual life and spiritual consciousness and everything. And they'll go search, and they get a bogus Guru. If they get a wrong Guru, the Guru will take them in a wrong direction, right? The Guru will say that just give a lot of money. I don't have to chant any mantras, nothing. You just give money and I'll make you God. You are God, I am God, everyone is God. Something, all this bogus philosophy will be told by a bogus Guru who just try to fool that person, because he is spiritually inquiring, but then he's exploiting that person, the Guru, so-called Guru. So that is because of that, no Guru Parampara, no. So whenever you surrender to a Guru, you should check who's his Guru, who's his Guru. You should check the Parampara. Is the Parampara ending with Krishna? That's the right Sampradaya. Okay, so you should always check. Disciple can 1 year check the Guru and know about him, hear about him, then only surrender. Because once you surrender, you can't go back. That will become offense, aparad. So 1,000 people may endeavor for perfection, but in that only one will know Krishna in truth. Rest of them falls away. That's mainly because of a bogus Guru. They don't get the right type of Guru. So in that way, we are all lucky to come under the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Very nice Guru Parampara system we have. So Bhakti process is easy as well as difficult. It's easy because it requires no material qualification. Anybody can do, right? A child can also participate in Bhakti yoga. In another sense, however, Bhakti is very difficult. Why? To perfect, because it's obtainable only by selfless devotion, not by any material formula. And to do pure devotional service is very difficult. We are doing karma mishrita bhakti or jnana mishrita bhakti, but to do pure bhakti is difficult. So generally, mankind is engaged in animal propensities like eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Hardly anyone is interested in the transcendental knowledge. So chapter 1 to 6 is for those people, karma yoga, okay, just for karmis. And the middle 6 chapters is the essence of Bhagavad. It's like a sandwich, right? The essence is in the middle. So Krishna purposely kept bhakti in the middle. So Srila Prabhupada quotes that Shastri also admits Krishna as the Supreme Personality Godhead. Bhaja Govindam, he says. And impersonal Brahman realization is here than knowing Krishna. Position of Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead, cause of all cause. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Right? So if bhakti is easy, then why people are not practicing it? Okay, that's because they don't have that kind of sukri, they don't have tasted it, or they don't get the right guru. So-called unauthorized path is easy, but speculative scholars and philosophers fall away. So devotional service without Vedic authorization is in society with devotional service. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Panjaratrim Vidim Vina Ekandigi Harir Bhakti Utpaideva Kalpate. Okay, so if we know the literature, Purana, that disturbance to the society. So who can know Krishna? Only pure devotees can understand Krishna by devotional service. And how can they know Krishna? Only a portion of Krishna's inconceivable quality can be known. And says, Shri Krishna Namani Nava Vedrahyam Indriye Venukehi Jihvado Swayameva Swaratyada. No one can understand Krishna or senses, but he reveals to the devotees, and Krishna become pleased by their service, and Krishna reveals. Nama Adi. What do you mean by Nama Adi? What of Krishna gets revealed first? The name, but after that, what gets revealed? First is the name, then first is the name. Does anyone know? So first you know me, okay, as a name, my name. Then what else you know? After that, you know how that person looks. Okay, then name, form, name, quality, and past time. Okay, so first you should know the name of that person. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. Nama means the name. First the name. So first you know my name. Then you know how I look, the form. Then you know the qualities. Then you know the pastime. So first we should know the name of. Hare Krishna, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Here it is said other Shri Krishna Nama Adi. Nama Adi means name, form, quality, and pastime of Krishna. Okay, first is the name of Krishna. First, we understand Krishna's name, then the quality of Krishna, then pastimes. First the form and then the pastime. Okay, so Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Okay, first is the name. First, we know the name of Krishna. Then we see how Krishna looks. Then the qualities of Krishna, Sachidananda. Then the pastime. First, you know me, my name, then my form, how I look, then the qualities, then you know more about me. No? So, Krishna won't reveal just like that. Bhagavad Gita is an official book for Krishna. In the sense, officially you are meeting Krishna in the office. That's why there is no Brajavasis or Vrindavan, but stealing pastimes mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. It's all very superficial to understand Krishna is God. But when we understand Krishna is God, then you can go to Bhagavatam, which is like Krishna is calling you to his home, Brajadam, to know his pastime. So when we start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, directly don't jump to the pastime and try to hear the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Keep hearing. Then what happens? Nama, Rupa. Then Krishna's form will come in front of you. Then after the qualities, and last is the pastime. We should not artificially meditate on pastime. If it naturally comes, well and so useless, the Paramatma realized yogis and demigod worshippers, they fail to understand Krishna as the son of Yashoda, as the supreme personality. Got it? Krishna Prabhupada highlights the potency of Bhakti. And after many words, one can understand Vasudeva, come Vasudeva. So we all have done so many sukritis and so many janmas and have come to this stage of justice. It's not easy. But we should not leave this opportunity. It's very this opportunity. Sorry, I have network issues. Manishyanam sahasreshu kashit yadari siddhaye yadadam api siddhanam kashit mam veti tattvata. Manishyanam sahasreshu. Thousands of people will endeavor to know the truth, but kashit mam veti tattvata. Tattva means in truth. Only one person can know Krishna in truth. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prabhatyate vasudeva sarva iti samahatma suddhurlabha. After so many janma, bahunam janmanam ante, after so many janmas, jnanavan mam prabhatyate. Jnanavan, somebody is in knowledge, understand. Vasudeva sarvam iti, that Krishna is everything. Samahatma sudhurlabha. Durlabha means rare, sudhurlabha means very rare. Such people are very rare. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedasya kasyana. Krishna says he knows our past, present and future also. So he knows everything about everyone. So I'll stop here. Okay. So we'll continue from next week because we took some time for the closed book question discussion. So what I'll do is I will share the question bank, the first and the second question bank, so that it's easy for you to remember. Okay. And some of you didn't attend the closed book. Everyone attended the closed book. Yeah, Sanjay Prabhu, are you there? I can't hear him. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Achyuta Keshavadas here. Tanvat Pranam. Mataji, I haven't attended the initial open book assessments, Mataji, because I've joined this batch a little late.
Yeah, but you're doing with Monday batch, no?
Yes, Mataji, I'm also doing that.
It'll be like here and there. What we do is, okay, you write with them and I will finally, I'll take your marks from that list and put it. And just remind me towards the end, so that of all the modules, so that I can take the marks from that list. So yes, those who have missed chapter 1, I'm starting a new batch tomorrow, that is Monday. So from chapter 1, so those who missed can attend. Same link, same time. Okay, but stick to one batch. That is also important because you should be in one batch so that your marks, attendance, everything will be covered in that batch. So Sanjay Prabhu, somehow I could get only six answers of your closed book questions. Did you write only 6?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, no problem. So it was asked to write 8. It was little tough. Is it tough for you?
Since analogy was a bit.
Yeah, analogy. Yeah, another one more devotee said the analogy was little tough.
But I did my best.
I like analogies, and in Bhakti Shastri point of view, that's what is needed. Now you need to know more about analogies so that you'll never forget such analogies. Nice examples Prabhupada have quoted. Now, when you tell to a normal person about this analogies, they can easily relate with the philosophy. So that's why analogies are very
Mataji,
important.
can I say
See
something?
the handbook, all that is given. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I have a concern for the second module because it's very difficult for me to memorize. This 3 shlokas was kind of, after constant practice. This 14 would be a very tough challenge for me. Anyway, I will try whatever possible.
Yeah, so what to do. That's how the course is designed actually.
Yeah.
And Bhagavad Gita slokas are actually very easy. When you come to nectar of devotion, nectar of instructions, the slokas are going to be a little more tougher. So one way of studying is have a notebook and write the sloka, and every day Brahma Muhurta you chant the sloka. You remember the sloka like anything fast. That's one
Okay.
way of remembering it. Constantly hear the slokas. More and more time you hear. We don't write and study any Bollywood songs, no, but we remember so many songs, lyrics and all. How? Because of constant hearing. Just keep hearing the slokas, and then it'll get registered. Okay.
Even that I will remember only 2 lines.
Mataji,
By Krishna will give with the yoga.
Mataji, we have to learn the meaning also. We have to tell, like last time.
Definitely, see, Bhagavad Gita is a love letter by Krishna. So if you don't understand the meaning, what's the use of that letter? It's a life manual. If you don't, there is a manual coming with your fridge and washing machine and all. So sometimes it will be written in Chinese and some other language because it's made from China and all. Will you be able to operate the machine with that manual? No, it's just so many verses, something written. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita just becomes like Greek and Latin. If you don't understand the meaning, just some slokas and just memorize and vomit it during the exam. That's not what we want. You should understand the
That is
meaning.
true. That is
Don't
true.
know
Without
the
the
Sanskrit also,
meaning-
you should know the meaning.
That is true. Without
Mataji, can we
meaning,
see our
cannot
mark
remember.
list once again, please? Can you show us our mark list?
I already have shared once. So now I can't do. I have to close now. It's 9 o'clock. Okay.
Hare
So
Krishna
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
sorry for the interruption. I
This is-
wanted to know how do we place an order for Ishopanishad and NOI Nectar of Instruction book, Mataji?
okay, I will send the link in the WhatsApp group. You can order it from ISKCON Mangaluru. Okay.
Sure,
It comes
Mataji.
in a set, but you get Bhagavad Gita also along with that. It's a set. Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, Ishopanishad. It's a set coming. So what you do is that Bhagavad Gita, you can gift it to someone or you can give it to somebody else because it comes together.
Okay, I actually have Nectar of Devotion as well, Mataji. but,
Oh, you have that also. But the other two books alone you won't get because it's like a package. They the book section they pack like that. It's like
oh,
so
in
you try
the Hyderabad's ISKCON membership, I got the all the
Books.
cantons of
Oh.
Srimad Bhagavatam and all of these
Oh,
books,
nice.
but Nectar of
Okay.
Instruction and Ishopanishad are missing in it. So
Okay. We'll see. We just we try contacting the office. We'll see whether it's available in single way also. Okay, so
Sure, ma'am.
these are put by the Mayapur Institute and Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education that these slokas have to be memorized because Prabhupada says when you become a preacher, you should know at least 30 slokas from Bhagavad Gita, 30 out of all the 700. Why? When you speak against Mayavadis and atheists and non-devotees and all that, you should have a strong foundation. You should quote from the Shastra. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, have quoted from Shastras when he spoke to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and Prakashananda Saraswati. So when you preach, when you quote from Shastras, the opposite party don't have anything to say because you are quoting Shastra, you're quoting scriptures written by God himself or the Vedas. You can't reject Vedas, no? So that's why Bhakti Shastri is basically a preaching degree. It is not for just to get a degree and keep the certificates. No, those who actually likes to preach, the Bhakti Shastri is aiming to make you all scholars in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So yes, some of you find it very difficult to learn the slokas, but it's a part of the course. Okay, it's a part of the course. But do not worry, sloka marks are not so important. The main importance is open book and closed book. Okay, sloka comes, I think 10%, 10% is sloka marks added. So how much ever we can, you should not neglect. How much ever we can, we need to study. Okay.
Mataji, I just have another small request.
Nice.
If you could help us with the sequence of the songs of the Vaishnava Acharyas. I have a book which reads songs of Vaishnava Acharyas, but here I just need to understand which one goes in which sequence because I've heard a lot of pranamas being missed when we start with Guru pranamas. So which one is regularly followed? Which one do we continue? If we can have a list of that, and which one to be recited in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, what's the sequence? If I could get that particular list, it'll be grateful, Mataji.
You mean Aarti songs? Mangla Aarti.
Yes, Mataji. All the
Okay,
Mangala
okay.
Aartis, all the
I
bhajanas.
think Mangla Aarti, we have a booklet. We had a booklet in different languages. Let me see whether I have it or I'll share it. Okay. Let's see.
Sure, Mataji.
Okay.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, everyone. So I think we can end here.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Mama discussion.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vancha
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Patitanam Pavane Bhavesh.